Okay, now it's 11. I think we can slowly begin this webinar. There might still be more people coming, but let's start.
We can start.
Yeah, I mean, I will start first. So welcome everyone to this Tourbit webinar. This is a sequel of 3 webinars now on digital marketing, and this is the 3rd part. After that, we continue with different topics. But today we have here Nicola Mostallino as a speaker. He is a freelance web marketing designer, and he's based in Barcelona. And I am here talking from Lapland, Finland. So this is a very Europe-wide webinar. Nicola has years of experience working with informatic systems and digital marketing. So we warmly welcome you to this webinar. About the webinar content, we will first have Nicola's presentation about marketing, email marketing, and other digital marketing related issues. And afterwards, we have time for a couple of questions. But I will now let you go. Nicola, you're welcome. And maybe you can present more about yourself.
Yeah, thanks to all of you to be here. I will say I'm Nicola, and I work like a freelance web design based in Barcelona. Today, I prepared some slides where we go to speak about email marketing from user to customer. What does it mean? That I think all of us know what is a campaign of email marketing. And we try today to see all the little details that can help us to improve the result of our email marketing campaign. Because to send an email campaign maybe could be also very easy. I mean, we just need to log in a software that we can use for email marketing and we send an email. But of course, we want to improve and optimize the result of this email marketing campaign. So for this, we need to take care of different kind of points. And these points are not just in the email, of course, but are also in the web page. That is the landing where the user go thanks to the email that they receive in this box. Why? This because we want that a user go to a customer. And this transformation happens when this user make an action that we want, or that we identify like customer. This could be just leave to us an email, just ask to us the cost of some services, or directly, if we have a shop, he buy a product or also a service that we can sell in our web page. So after this very short presentation, we start to move it directly to the technical part. So first of all, we need to find a software that can administrate all the system of the email campaign. Here in this slide, I suggest 2 software. One is Mailjet and one is MailChimp. Why I suggest this? I suggest this because they are the most common used. They are sometimes also like cheap, and sometimes the client like also these ideas. For example, I think I remember good, MailChimp let us send like 2,000 mail each month and to an audience of 500 users. And all this we can have for free. If we have more than 500 users, we need to pay something each month, but it's very, very little quantity of money for the benefit that this system can do to our market. So with the email marketing, we can do different kind of stuff. This means that we don't just sell or make brand, but we can make more things. We can do branding. We can speak about our company, our benefit of what our brand can do for the users. Another way of communication or that we can use in marketing is sharing news. Try to engage the audience. This is very important because one of the first things in digital life and digital market is to create community. Okay, if we create community with our social, like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, this community go to follow us. And if they can follow us, they like us, and they can come in the web page and they can make there an action. And another action that is very common and has a very good benefit for the company is sell, okay, by the email campaign. We can do different kind of email for sale. We can sell directly our product if you are a company that sell product, or also our services, because maybe if we try to sell our service on internet, we can have a fast payment, okay, and maybe we can do also like a little discount because they buy our services by internet. So this is just to let you know that email campaign can do a lot of stuff. Okay, and this can be from the communication to the sell. One very important thing when we speak about mail campaign is to take care about privacy. Okay, so this kind of we have two kinds of privacy. One is in the mail, okay, campaign. So we need to have the rights to send an email to the users, and for this we have all the GDPR laws that normally all the systems that are online to send the mail, we have done all this part. The other part is when we bring people with our mail from the email website, there is changing something more because we have more privacy stuff that we have to take care. So in our web page, okay, we need to have a system that analyzes the cookie and that gives the people the right to deny or not deny or accept the cookies. Another thing also is all the privacy. So if we have a shop, we need to have all the pages that help the client, but also it's the law, it's a requirement for the law, like shipment, returnment, refund policy, all this kind of stuff. Here also, I suggest you two web. One is Cookiebot, one is Ubenda. Okay, and Cookiebot and Ubenda, it's a software that help us to better administrate the cookie, and also the part about the privacy. These software are online, they have a feed each month, so it's very easy to work with them. And I think it's very useful because we have to take care a lot about privacy stuff. It's the law that asks for this. So we're back to the presentation. And after this, what is the most important part of our campaign? That first of all, we need subscribers. Subscriber is a people, user that enter in our web, for example, and let his mail or email, because he won't or she won't receive some offer or whatever. So how we need to improve the number of subscribers. The most we have, the best, but also the quality is very important. I mean, we don't need a list of 1,000 people if no one is interested about what we sell. It's better maybe to have less user in our list, but that we are very interested for our market and for our services or product. Okay, we can add this subscriber form, very little, for example, and clean. Have to be very simple because the most fields we ask in the form, the less user give to us. For this, normally we just ask for email, that is the most important, is the basic one, and maybe we can ask for the name. Why? Because it's nice to write to some people and write his or her name when we are starting an email. Also because the email with a name at, in the beginning, of course, has like 50% more of open rate. So this is very important. Also, we can add this subscribing in a landing page of our website and ask by the social, please visit our webpage and subscribe to our form. Also, we can use pop-ups that triggers the appearance of the pop-up depend of some action. Maybe when we are moving on the right to the X, to close the web page, this also can be an activation. So when we go on the right corner, it comes a pop-up, okay, that maybe give to us the last chance to stay in the web page and why we need to stay there. So this means normally to have a discount or give something, okay? So for this, we back to web, and we see here we have a web page. It's about University School of Cinema in Barcelona. And when we come in the web, it comes this pop-up. Here we have a normal contact form just to catch the information that people. Normally here we can have a subscriber form. Sometimes we have a contact form. Also sometimes we have an offer. This pop-up come up one time a day. And when I close, it didn't come back. Okay, so like this, the user is not stressed about our pop-up. We back to here and we move to the next one. So here we have an example of another kind of pop-up. So what we ask here is just the email address, but we give something back. I mean, we give you 10% of discount. This is why, because this helps a lot to catch the user and let them give us the email. And when they log in, okay, they receive an email with directly a button where there is this discount already for the web. Why it's so important to make email campaign? Email campaign is very important because when we make email campaign, we bring visit to our web page. When we bring visit to our web page, this is a very positive thing for Google ranking, because the most people visit our web page, the most people may click in our web page. I mean, the users are interacting with our web page. They navigate it, they may click, they go in a page, they go in a product, they move on it. This helps a lot Google to understand that our web page is nice because the people can navigate. There is also the GDPR page that we speak before about privacy stuff, and Google take look all these kind of things. So if we make like each week, for example, or each month, we make an email campaign, bring people to our webpage, this help back to us in our webpage to the Google ranking, because we are getting visit. Of course, we are like forced visit, but we are visit, and we stay in the web because they like our web, so they like our market, what we sell. For this is very important to have, how we tell before the audience that it's very comfortable in our webpage because they like it. This helps a lot our webpage to grow up, and maybe this can be a good reflection in Google first pages. Okay, for example, here how we can take a look about these things. We can use, for example, Google Analytics. So when we send a campaign, maybe we go to see here a very high number of people connected to our web page. This can be repeated maybe each week. This is very useful. Of course, there is also other software like SEMrush that help us to understand that how is going our web. For example, here we can see on the right that this web had for the after stay like in the same line after grow up a lot. This help a lot us to understand the situation of our web page and how we can optimize the next email campaign. So we back to the slides. Full screen mode is bigger. Okay, one very important thing is normally when we are making when we are working on internet, we can be like two different kind of communication. We can be a business, we can be a customer. So for this, there is two types of client in the market. One is business to business, one is business to customer. So when a company sells to another company, or when a company sells to a normal customer, like a person. But we need to remember that behind of a company, of a client, whatever is contacting us, or we are contacting him, or her, there is a person. So I think in this time, of course, we don't have to lose our connection about business to client and business to business. But when we write an email, we have to write for person. So we remember that the person that read our email, yes, could be the owner of a big company working business to business, but is a person. So you go to read also the email, not just like a CEO of a company, but also like a person. So this, because it's very important, digital world, try to keep our human communication benefit. Okay. And one of the most important, how we were speaking before, is create community. When we say mail to a community that love us, we go to have best result. Why? Because they maybe can resend our link, they can buy something, or they can suggest to our friend, or maybe we can ask for a review. Review in Google are very good, because if we send some email and the client doesn't know we a lot, he has just the web page to see who we are, and the Google review. Also, there's some other kind of review like Tourbit or whatever, but maybe the Google review is what the people best believe. And how I tell before, if we put there Anna at the beginning of the email, so we catch also the name, this email has like 50% of he can operate. So this is very nice. This means the document. So for this, we can move forward or here. Okay, we got to see, this is very important. And I got to spend 1 minute more about it. When we send an email, normally one maybe the best things is to ask the owner of an online shop, because normally it helps a lot to sell. And if we have an online shop, we have a cart. Different times the user entering the web because of some problem, or maybe because no time or didn't understand very good, we just choose some product, put in the cart, go directly to checkout, fill all the fields, but after there is something that brings them back. So they leave, how they say, the cart full, but they didn't pay. If this user just send and fill up these fields with his email, with some software, it's possible to send a periodical email to this user. Okay, and we try to press a bit to try to sell our product. For example, we can send three different emails. The first one we can send like 30 minutes after we try to buy. And we say, hey, you forgot your card, what's going on, remember to. We can send another email, for example, 1 day after, and we bring, hey, remember, yesterday you was buying, but maybe your decision could be helped from this discount. And we give a little discount just to move, to try to sell. And also we can send another email like 3 days after. I think that more than 3 days, 1 week is not so good to send, else maybe we can lose this user because we are too pressed. We make too press on it. We can see this in this web page. Embryolis, we go to see some. Okay, so this is the last month of statistic, I think. Yes. So in the last month, we had, sorry, but it's in Spanish, 15 users that leave the cart without buying, but the cart was full of product. So with the system, we was able to have back like 11 of these. Okay, this is very important because it helps us to have 11 sales more on our web page. If we go in this part of the system that helps us to automate this, because we don't have to do nothing. Normally it goes not really alone. Everything automatic. We have here 1 30 minutes after, and 1 3 days after. We choose in this project 1 day we don't send any mail. Okay, we back to the full screen mode. Okay, so remember to implement this because code help a lot our project. Video are very useful to show product, to show service, to show who we are. Okay, the people when find a web page but don't know who is back, is behind this market, so maybe they want to know more. And for this, normally the about us or the project or who we are is the page more visited in a web page. So if we can use video in our communication, our email, in our web, it can help a lot to create an engagement, an emotional engagement with the client. Also, we have to remember that the best things to have a video in an email or in a web page is embed them from YouTube. Like this, we don't go to have all this heavy media in our server. When we put online a web in YouTube, it's very useful for Google rank. Why? Because the first result of the Google search page at the moment are video. So if you work on video and we use them for our email and our website, it can help a lot us also to ranking better our web page. Analytics. One of the most important things when we make this kind of campaign is analyze the result. Without analyze, we cannot improve, because our goal is, yes, send an email, yes, sell or make some action with this email, but the most important thing is to improve, to optimize. So for this, we can make A/B testing. This means that maybe we can send 2 different emails and look which, and we can change some color, some button, some position of image, and we can see which one go better. We need to encourage clicks, so we need to have a lot of buttons to let the people make a click and bring them to our web page. The image help a lot to have click, because on the image the people make a lot of click. After, we need to utilize use heat maps to see how the people go on our page. We can also record our user on the web, and also we need to take a look to the review, because a lot of time after email we have a lot of action on our web page. Maybe some user left a review, and it's very important to read this review and comment them. So now we go to see very fast the video of heat maps. For example, here this is Hotjar. It's a free software. Okay, he has a free plan, so a free plan also, and it can help a lot to know where the people may click. Here we can see, for example, this is the last part of the web. We have review. Look how it's read this click. We make a lot of click here. And also, if we go in the footer, is the last part, maybe it's the ugly part because it's no image or whatever, the people click a lot on who we are and all that. They want to know who is this company. Maybe after they go to buy, but before they want to know. So with this software, it's very easy to see where the people, the user, let's say, make a click. Okay, the search form here, the large button here, and directly they go here just to know who we are and some other category. Okay, we back here. The same over here, we can have also like a record. So now we go to see this in our. Okay, here's what we were speaking. We have here the head map. We are, and this is a head map of email. Okay, so here we can see the different click-through rate of the button. This helps to let us know better of what the people are interested in. And also here we have that this image received 8 clicks. So this is so important, not let just text, but we try to make our email a bit nice, good looking. This is very important. Also, we can record the visit directly. And here we can see is the record. This user stay in our web 1 minute and 48, make different kind of action. Here we have all the list of other users that enjoy our web page and come to visit. So this is very important to see how the people move on our web page. And here we can see the different countries from the visit come from. We can play it. Some of them are high relevance, some like lower relevance, depending on the click and the action that they take in our web page. So it's very important to take a look to our record and to take a look to the heat map after we send a mail campaign to better optimize our web page and our also email campaign. So when we bring user to our web page, we need to convert them to a customer, try to sell them something or ask for email or ask for something. I mean, and the experience of this seller to be good, not just when they buy, but also when we ship them the product and also the product satisfaction. So all these kind of things help us to improve in the next months. So we don't have just to sell, we need to have and give a good experience to our user and good product, of course, or services. So when they come in our web page, we need to push them and bring where we want. So we need to try to have engagement, we need to have offers, we need to have a wish list, because maybe someone during the holidays is hoping to have some present. we need to have automation email. We don't tend to think that we all the time send an email, but we need to have automation of all kind of things is possible. Okay, and after cross-selling and upselling that are very important to push a bit more the user. And this works very good if we make a little discount also. Yeah, this is about this, the same thing. The most important is the communication. Sometimes we have a person that don't understand very good language or whatever. So it's very good for a web page to have a system to communicate directly with a real person. I think chatbot don't give real opinion to person, and sometimes it could be also boring because I have like a question, I just do a question, if I do a question to a person, it can answer me better. So for this, I think normally we can have a chatbot. The chatbot could be directly connected to a person. Also WhatsApp, it's very useful WhatsApp because the people see WhatsApp like very common use. All the optimization has to be done on the web and done on the email. For example, when people buy something, you can receive an email 3 days after with some other product. So for this, we go to see fast some of these examples. So we already did this. Okay, we are speaking about this. This is a web page that sells clothes, and we created here. Okay, you can buy these clothes for 50 euro. But when we come, we see that all these products are added automatically. These are cross-selling. So you can have this, and you can have for 25 euros about half price also this. So when we make this, okay, here we buy just this. We said, come on, but we have a good offer. Okay, now this I don't need, this I don't need, but this yes, and I get with a good discount. So I can do directly like this and buy all the product together. So this help a lot this kind of cross-selling. Maybe we can give a product and a product that we know that is very useful with this product, and we can sell 2 products. Okay, maybe this can help our market. Another very important thing is when we move to buy, it's directly the checkout, cart, and payment. This part is very important because the checkout has to be very clean page. In this page, we want just one thing, the data of the information of the client, and we want to move to the next one, that is the payment. So of all webs, this is the last 2 pages where we have the action. So this page has to work very fast, very clean, and very nice looking. Also in the page could be very useful to have a phone number. If someone has a problem, can directly call, solve the problem, and buy there. And of course, when we give this kind of service or product, we need to accept like digital payment because it goes fast and also go with more security. So for this, we go fast to see an example. Okay, here, for example, we have different kind of way. This 90 euro, we directly can pay with ShopPay, PayPal, or pay in a normal way. This is another payment page. How we can see, we can directly pay with PayPal, express checkout. If you have the app in our phone, in 1 click and maybe 10 seconds, we pay, or else with the normal data, we can put all the data of the client here and go to pay by PayPal. This take a bit more because we need to catch all the information, but how we can see here, we have no image, we have the list of the things bought and nothing more. Also, the logo is not here. Okay, this page has to be fast and clean. It's very, very important. And okay, looking from there, this was one of the most important part of all the flow, because we started just sending an email. It comes, the email has to be nice. We have to read. We have to make click because we want that the user go to our web page. When we are in our web page, it's our own. We try to bring the user where we want, but also we try to give to the user what he needs, what he wants, and trying to help him. We never have to leave alone. When we do kind of things like that, the user understands it's comfortable and maybe can make different kind of action. So all this, maybe at the end we sell 2 products and not 1, it comes from email. And send email, it's very easy. But between the send this email and have an action in our web, this is a little number of details that we have to take care and try to optimize all the time. So making a little resume, what we have to do? We need to select a newsletter software. Normally I use MailChimp because also it's very useful and it respects the international law between Europe and United States. This also is very important for our market to go to United States. We need to take care also about this kind of privacy because change between. After that, we have a software. We need to configure it, of course. We need to add subscribers. We can buy, but it's not very useful, of course. The best things, just try all these things that we saw in the web page, in social, or whatever, try to add to our subscriber. After that, we add a subscriber. Before to send a web email campaign, of course, we go to send in our optimized website. This means that the website needs some work before. I mean, if we have a normal shop, we never open the door if we don't clean the shop. So the thing is the same. We try to prepare our website and to let ready to optimize the result of our campaign. After this, we send an email marketing campaign. Finally, we got this was like our point. After is not, and here the work is not finished here because the most important part is analyze all the statistics stuff in the email campaign and also in our website because we need to improve both of them to improve all the system. When we analyze, we make some changes and we repeat the process. Again, trying to send email. Depend of the market, you can send maybe one email at weekend each week, just about news. One email one time a month about your company. And one time each 2 weeks, maybe try to sell your product or your services by an email campaign. Okay, so I think this is all, and thanks a lot for your time. It's very important. I like a lot these kind of things. I hope this could open a little window, and you can improve also in your market, in your work, in your day by day. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, Nicola, for your presentation. It was very interesting.
Thanks, gracias.
All right, now we have some time for questions. If we have some questions from the audience, I know I always have questions, but if somebody else also has questions, then feel free to ask.
Someone has some question?
Okay, well, I can start. I have one question for you. Now that many of tourism companies especially want to increase their sales from their own websites, not to use like outsiders in between, how do you see that this kind of marketing approach could help in gaining
I totally
customers
understand.
to companies' own websites and not maybe use
Yes, I totally understand that the company won't sell this service also if we are tourism or things like that in his web page, because maybe like this way save more money. We don't have to pay like some commission. It's possible, and this can help a lot, but we need to work a lot. I mean, we need to work a lot to our audience. This is the most important thing. Maybe it's what to take to us like more time and deep work really, because work on our audience at the end of today, the normal user, we are impacted of, I don't know how many image and advertisements see in a phone or in a TV, in the computer all the time. So to work the audience, it's very difficult because we need like to love them and bring them. But when we are able to do this and our audience grow up, maybe we can have, I don't know, thousands of email where we are sending some information. Also, we can work like taking this information from the other system. Maybe we can also buy, depend on some database of email. This also can help. But I think the best thing is all the time is try to grow up probably the audience alone in your web and try to give to them your value. This is the most important part. When a user is very loved with our brand, it can make more action on the website. and don't need to go in another web page because he already knows us. He has already confidence with us, and don't go maybe passing with some other company.
Yes, and it's probably very important to show what we can give to the customer if they, for example, buy from our website and maybe not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, there is a question also in the chat. What is the best frequency for sending the marketing emails without annoying the customer?
This is one of the most normal questions. There is no a solution. Why? Because it's not 1 + 1, it's 2, and okay. This depends on our market. So normally I think we can send 2-3 emails each month, but we don't annoy our audience if what we send it's useful. I mean, I receive a lot of email, okay, newsletter, like all of us, and most of the time I have to refund. No, I have to reject this email because I don't like them. They are not useful. They just made to try to catch, forcing something. So when we have this, the people just click on the button and go out from our newsletter. So there is no specific number, but if you need a number, because of course we need a number, then I can say you, maybe we can send 1 a week in the weekend, speaking about nice things, what our brand, not just our brand, but what is near to our brand, but we don't have to speak just of our brand. And maybe we can send 1 at month with the offer of the month, with offer of some other opportunity. And these emails are focused to sell. So maybe we can have mail marketing focused to sell, mail marketing focused to the brand, or to give news, to create community. So we don't have a fixed number. But I think if we send 3 or 4 each month with different text, images, and useful stuff, this is the most important. The email have to be useful, else we put the bin. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. We have some more questions. Someone of you maybe want to know some software that can help us. During the call we saw Hotjar. It helps us to have a head map. This is very useful, I think. We need to learn about Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and also we can take a look all the software that can help us with some statistic stuff. It's useful because we have to do, analyze, improve, restart all the time.
That's a good point. Do, analyze, and what was the
optimize,
and
restart.
then do again. Yes.
Yeah,
all right.
always,
Good.
always, all the time we go to learn something from our email and from headmap and statistics.
Very nice. Well, if we don't have any other questions, then I think we can start wrapping up this session.
Right.
It was super. Thank you very much, Nicola, for
Thanks
your
for
insights
you.
and expertise, and for all the participants as well, of course. Thank you very much.
And I don't know, you have my mail. If maybe someone has some doubt, some question these days, they can reach me in LinkedIn or whatever. I'm more than happy to have to exchange information with some other people. That I think is what we move to the future, is collaborate. So feel free to write me.
Okay, thank you. And the next webinar will be in December. It will also be a Tuesday, maybe 12th, but the topic will then be sales. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thanks to all of you also. See ya. Ciao.
See you.